Have you heard the latest buzz about Justin Bieber looking for support from Britney Spears?
Yeah, I did, and it's, really something. What's going on with him exactly?
Well, apparently, Justin is in full panic mode right now. According to an insider report, his public meltdowns and outbursts make it clear that he's spiraling.
Mm-hmm. Right. I've heard he panics at even a knock on his door, fearing it's an intervention. That's intense, isn't it?
Absolutely. He's said to be so terrified that every little knock feels like an intervention coming his way.
Yeah. And that's where Brittany comes in, right? It seems like he's leaning on her because she's experienced some incredibly tough times herself.
Exactly. Brittany, having gone through her own mental health spirals and a long conservatorship ordeal, seems to be the one who truly gets what he's facing.
Right. It almost seems ironic that Justin turns to someone who's, often been portrayed as a victim of control rather than a helper, no?
Yeah, that's a point worth noting. On one hand, his outbursts are a sign of distress, and on the other, Brittany's history could be, her way of providing guidance.
So basically, he's looking for someone who's, understandable because she's, been there and done that with similar challenges.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because, her own ordeal with that conservatorship, it shows she's been forced into a situation no one would choose willingly.
I get that. But, isn't there a risk here? I mean, if he mirrors her experiences too closely, couldn't that, risk worsening his current state?
That's a fair point. The report even mentions that hearing what Brittany went through might actually intensify his paranoia.
Right. Exactly. It's like, while her guidance might be comforting, it could also remind him of, powerlessness and control.
Right. And, there's also a social media angle. Justin has been boosting Britney's posts and even rocking out in some of her dancing videos.
Yeah. It sort of shows that they're connected on some level, though there's no definitive proof they're in constant contact.
True, the report is pretty clear that aside from one insider claim, there's just no public evidence of an ongoing emotional support relationship between them.
Mm-hmm. But then again, isn't it possible that even a small gesture like boosting posts can be enough for someone in a vulnerable spot?
Oh, definitely. It could be like, a lifeline. Like a friend sending a cool supportive emoji at the right moment.
Yeah, like a little beacon in a really stormy night of mental health struggles.
Exactly, but, some might argue that if Justin truly wanted to avoid interventions or this spiraling behavior, he could just, rein it in himself rather than leaning on someone else's troubled past.
Yeah, that's a compelling challenge. It's almost like saying, hey, grow a pair and deal with your own chaos. But life isn't that simple, is it?
Not at all. Emotional support can be the difference between sinking deeper and finding a way out. And Brittany's been through the fire, so to speak.
True, the comparison is pretty stark. One's seen real legal entanglements and personal battles, and now Justin's in a state where, he feels like he's trapped.
Right. The insider emphasized he feels trapped and, every knock on the door seems like a threat rather than a caring intervention.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think the takeaway is here? Is it about seeking guidance from someone who has survived? Or does it highlight a potential warning sign for his future?
I think it's both, honestly. On one hand, reaching out to someone who might understand is a natural human reaction. On the other, the risky side is that he might, forget his own agency in the process.
Yeah, it's a fine line between support and dependency, especially when you're in the public eye, where every move is scrutinized.
Exactly. And with the rumor mill always churning, any step he takes could be a double-edged sword, shaping public opinion for better or worse.
So, in the end, while Brittany's experience is relatable, Justin's situation is uniquely his own, and it's a complex web of personal and public challenges.
Absolutely. It's like, watching a high-wire act in the midst of a storm. One misstep, and the consequences
Yeah,
might be dire.
well put. It'll be interesting to see if this connection actually helps him manage this spiraling phase, or if it adds more fuel to the fire.
Indeed, only time will tell. And meanwhile, we'll have to watch how, these celebrity dynamics continue to unfold.
No doubt. Thanks for breaking that down. It's been a really insightful discussion.